point of view. I have a definition of my own where I'm using the different parts of the word. So we have judge, men, toll, judgmental. When men don't judge men totally the right way. One way to think about it, not judging others totally the right way. Well, I think there is a good story in the Bible that tells us about being judgmental. King David gets a visit from prophet Nathan. This is in 2 Samuel chapter 12, and I encourage you to read it all. It's pretty good. But in this visit, prophet Nathan tells David a story. Before we get to the story, let's back up a little bit. King David, by this time, has already slept with another man's wife, gotten her pregnant, had her husband killed in battle, and the child was born, and so they are a family now. The lady Bathsheba, King David, and then their son. Okay, back to the story that prophet Nathan was sent to tell King David. So King David listens as prophet Nathan begins. There was a rich man and a poor man. Now, the rich man had many herds and flocks. Basically, so much money. One day he gets a visitor. A traveler is coming. He wants to feed his traveler. So he bypasses all of his animals and goes and gets one lamb, the only lamb that the poor man had. Now, this lamb was so precious to the poor man. It grew up with his children. It ate with them. It drank with them. It slept with them. It was their precious lamb. So King David had already heard enough. He was steaming. He was angry at this rich man. He says, he must die. He needs to pay 4 times what he took. He had no pity. Prophet Nathan thinks, and he says, you are the man. David thinks as well, and he's speechless. Pause right there. So, question number 1. As King David was listening to the story about the rich man, did he not hear the similarities of what the rich man was doing wrong with what he had already done wrong? They both had in common that they had stolen something. On top of that, King David also slept with another man's wife and had that man killed. So did King David not think about some of these things as he was listening to the story? Was he just blind to his own wrongdoings? Question number 2. Why, after hearing that David was the man, why did David not say, oh, well, then I must die, or I must pay back 4 times what I've taken? I had no pity. Why? Well, I think that the answer to this is just in humanity. I think generally we know our reasons for doing things, and so we are kinder to ourselves when we make a mistake or do something wrong. But when it comes to other men, we don't know their reasons. So, we can just see that the fact is the fact that you stole something and you need to die, or whatever we think should occur. But fellow Christians, we are to be known by our love. And this kind of being judgmental does not help us to be loving. Please consider being merciful, having pity. And we'll lead into the song. Okay, so on to the song clip. Put your hands in the hands of the man who steals the waters. Put your hands in the hands of the man who calms the sea. Take a look at yourself that you may look at others differently. By putting your hands in the hands of the man from Galilee. Every time I take a look into that holy book, I want to tremble. When I read about the part where the carpenter cleared the temple. For those buyers and sellers were no different fellas than what I profess to be. And it causes me shame to know I'm not the girl that I should be. So I put my hands in the hands of the man who steals the waters. I put my hands in the hands of the man who calms the sea. I take a good look at myself that I may look at others mercifully. By putting my hands in the hands of the man from Galilee. And taking a look in that holy book so he can save me. Let's do better so we can be better.